Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy's back! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to another live stream for your, Thursday night, October 13, 2022. It is currently 8:10 p.m. Hope you guys are all doing extremely well. I'm doing bloody fantastic. I'm looking forward to ripping into this live stream for you lads. I'm going to be revealing my 2023 NRL Magic Round fixture. I did this last year and it was quite successful. So I'm doing it once again. I'm going to be giving you guys a Magic Round fixture to look forward to. If I was in charge of the NRL, that is what I would do. I would give you guys a great Magic Round fixture. But before we get into the Nick from Australia 2023 NRL Magic Round fixture, I want to say hello to everybody in the live chat. We've got a bit of a crowd building up now, which is good to see. Hello to the Sharkies in the live chat. Hello, SS Stormfen. Paripi is here. We've got CJ Moxley, Jay Evans. Let's Go Bulldogs is here. We've got Bosky. We've got Jason Rader. Michael Joshua Lewis is here. Luke Melbourne Storm fans here. Who else is here? The chat's looking good. I think Ark's in the house. We've got Noah. We've got Ark, Bloxy Sport, William Pearson. 23 people in the live chat as we speak. It's good to see. 25 people now. So the chat's getting bigger and bigger. Everyone's keen for Magic Round next year. Obviously, Magic Round is one of the best NRL fixtures on the NRL calendar nowadays. It's very popular. Every game live at Suncorp Stadium. It is absolutely fantastic. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's just get into it. The Nick from Australia 2023 Magic Round fixture. Let's go. And I'm going to go through it right now. And hello, Jack Wellspun in the live chat as well. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's well. Now, with Magic Round in 2023, I believe the Friday at 6 o'clock game will be back for that. So expect that to happen. But let's go. Not every game of Magic Round is going to be juicy and going to be fantastic. But I think this fixture that I've created, I think it's a good one. So let's go. The first game of Magic Round, bit of a sloppy game. The first game's usually a bit scrappy, and the first one, Friday at 6 o'clock. I think the Knights versus the Warriors. I think this is a good way to open up Magic Round. Newcastle, they always seem to get this fixture, the 6 o'clock game on the Friday for Magic Round. They seem to always have a pretty decent crowd for the 6 o'clock Magic Round fixture on the Friday. I think it's a great way to start with Newcastle. They always seem to enjoy the early fixture. So I would start with the Newcastle Knights. And I think the Warriors, because the Warriors time zone in New Zealand would be 8 p.m. in New Zealand, I think this would be a good way to start. You got the Knights up against the Warriors. The Warriors fans, that can't get over to Australia. They get to see that game at 8 o'clock at night on a Friday. So it works out well for the Warriors as well. Knights and Warriors, look, it isn't the greatest way to start Magic Round, but have a look at the history of Magic Round. Friday, 6 o'clock. Majority of the fans are still at the pub, so it's not the greatest way. You want to get the sloppy games out of the way early. So Knights and Warriors to kick off Magic Round. Friday night, bit of a blockbuster game, this one. Broncos versus the Panthers. I think this is a good one. Brisbane, we all know We all know the Broncos are going to get the Friday 8 o'clock game. We all know it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. But we all know it's going to happen. Brisbane will be the Friday 8 o'clock game, no matter what, for Magic Round. It's always going to happen. And I reckon I should play Penrith. Penrith for the Premiers. They're the back-to-back champs. This would be a good test for the Broncos. You got the big dogs in Brisbane, the Broncos. They will play Penrith. Penrith for the Premiers. You want to put Penrith on prime time. They want to be on Channel 9. They want to be on free-to-air telly. Broncos and Panthers at Suncorp. I think it's a win-win. I think it's a great game. I think it's a good way to end off Friday night at Magic Round. So the Broncos versus the Panthers. I swear to God, can we not have Brisbane and Manly? I'm so done with Brisbane Manly. Brisbane versus Penrith. It's fresh. Brisbane get to play the champs. And hey, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So Brisbane and Penrith, I like it for the Friday night. So that's the Friday fixtures right there. Let's go to Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock. Manly and the Dogs. Manly versus Bulldogs. I like this. I think this is a good one. Manly versus Canterbury. Both these sides looking to improve in 2023. I like this because Manly, they get away from the nighttime fixture. They go to the afternoon game. The Bulldogs, they seem to always get the early Saturday or the early Sunday fixture for Magic Round. The Bulldogs work on a Saturday. I like this game a lot. I think Manly versus Bulldogs, it's hard to tell how any of these sides are going to go early for next year because Magic Round's what, round 9, round 10, round 11, around that. Who knows how these sides are going to go next year. So Manly versus Bulldogs, I think this is a really good fixture to open up Saturday afternoon. So Manly versus the Bulldogs. Now let's go to a really big game. Saturday, 5:30. We get a big game here. The Rabbitohs and the Eels. I think this game works really well. Both these sides had a great 2022. One was in the grand final, one was in the prelim. I think both sides are in for a good year next year. South Sydney versus Parramatta, the Saturday 5:30. I think this is a good fixture. It's a really good game. 2 top 8 sides from last year. This works out well. Really, 2 really good sides against each other, and I think this is one of those games where if there's one game to watch at Magic Round, this would be one to definitely rock up for because you get some games at Magic Round where fans are like, yeah, we don't really care about that game. 2 teams that we don't care about. So I think South versus Parramatta is one that I think the fans will definitely show up for. And I think the neutral fans that go for different clubs will definitely tune in for this one. So South versus Parramatta. I think that's a really good one for Saturday, 5:30, the middle game. And the crowd's usually bigger around that point anyway. Now, Saturday, 7:40 p.m., I feel like the Saturday night fixture, the nighttime game, the 7:40 game, it needs to be big. You need a blockbuster. You need a huge game. This game needs to be massive. And I think both these sides are going to have a massive 2023. And I think this game works out really well. Storm versus the Cowboys. This is a great game, man. Suncorp Stadium. Melbourne versus Cowboys. This is a great fixture, man. Suncorp Stadium. Both these sides, I reckon this is a great game, man. Melbourne versus North Queensland. Saturday night. Blockbuster game. I think this game is a big one. It's a big one. The Cowboys and the Storm. Really big game. You want that real main event type feel sort of game. Obviously, the Cowboys are going to win as a Cowboys fan. But this is awesome. Saturday night game. You've got so many great matches here. Melbourne versus Cowboys. This is a great game for Saturday night. You want a marquee match. You want a blockbuster for your Saturday night. Well, let's have Melbourne versus North Queensland. What a game. Storm and the Cowboys. Really good fixture there. Now let's go to the Sunday afternoon, the early game. The 1:50 kickoff. Raiders and the Dragons. This is a good one as well. Canberra versus St. George. Both these sides travel well too because I've been to the last couple of Magic Rounds and Canberra, their fans travel well, bro. They come all the way up from Canberra to Suncorp. They travel well. The Dragons, they get a lot of good support in Brisbane, I've noticed. I think this is a good night. I think this is a pretty entertaining sort of game. They had close games last year, and I think Canberra versus St. George is a pretty decent game. They were very fucking similar to each other on the ladder. I think it was 8 versus 10 on the ladder. This will be a great game. Canberra versus St. George. I think this is a really nice fixture. So for the early Sunday game, after everyone's a bit drunk after Saturday night, I think Canberra versus St. George is a really good one to open up Sunday afternoon. Now, the next game, if Storm versus Cowboys and Broncos, Panthers, and Rabbitohs, Eels aren't the biggest games of the weekend, well, this one right here might be one of the biggest. Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock at Suncorp Stadium. Roosters versus Sharks. This is juicy. This is mouth-watering. I think this works out well. Sharks and Roosters, man. Roosters, Sharks, whatever. This is a great, great fixture. The Roosters, their fans have travelled quite well up at Magic Round. The Roosters fans travel well. The Sharks, their record against the Roosters ain't bad. I think this is a great game. Sydney v Cronulla. It's a big game. Roosters expected to have a big year. Sharks finished second last year. This is probably one of the biggest games of Magic Round, to be honest with you. Besides Melbourne Storm and the Cowboys, Roosters Sharks is another really, really big game. Marquee matchup, afternoon game. I think this game works out really well. So Roosters up against the Sharks is another good one. And the final game, well, there's 3 teams left. Tigers, Dolphins, and Titans. Who plays? Who gets the bye? Well, Sunday 6:15, I think we're going to get the worst game for last. I think that's what happens. West Tigers versus the Gold Coast Titans. This is the shittest game of Magic Round. And the reason why I put this one on last is because the Tigers and the Titans, by the time we get to this game, nobody will want to hang around. Everyone will want to leave. I think everyone will be exhausted after the Roosters and Sharks game and the Dragons versus the Raiders. You want some... The last game's usually quite shit. So, West Tigers versus Gold Coast, I think that might be the last game because no one will be there. No one will care. So, West Tigers, Gold Coast to be the final game on the Magic Round fixture. And that means the new team, the Redcliffe Dolphins, or the Dolphins as they're known, they get the bye. And I'll explain why. The reason why I believe the Dolphins miss out is because ever since the Magic Round was invented, the Dolphins were not a part of Magic Round. They have never been involved with Magic Round, and I just feel with the NRL Magic Round being a consistent concept that it has been the last couple of years, since 2019 when it began, 19, 20, 21. Hang on, what year did it start? 2020, wasn't it? 20, 21, I can't remember what year it started. 2020. So it started it's been around for a couple of years now. And the Dolphins haven't been a part of it. Why should they be a part of it now and one of the other clubs miss out? The Dolphins are just coming into the NRL. Why should they come in and take someone's spot? I don't think that's fair. So I feel like I gave the West Tigers the bye in my round 1 fixture. I don't think you can have the West Tigers miss round 1 and Magic Round. I just feel the Dolphins, they're a new team. They don't need to be in fucking Magic Round. They don't need to be a part of it. So I say leave it to the other 16 sides that have been a part of it since Magic Round became a thing. And I would say stick with it that. I just don't think the Dolphins deserve to be a Magic Round. They're new. Why should they come in and take someone's spot? So do that. Give the Dolphins the week off. I think that's fair enough. But you guys can agree to disagree. But in saying that, the Tigers versus Titans game last year at the Gold Coast back in round 4, I think it was one of the worst games of football I've ever seen in my entire life. I could have went to it. I decided not to. I'm glad I didn't go. One of the worst games in history. Now, will it be the worst game in history next year? Probably not. But you need to have at least 1 or 2 shit games. You can't have every game being the greatest. So Dolphins for me, they get the bye for Magic Round. But I think everyone will say Tigers or the Warriors. The Warriors could miss out of Magic Round too. That could happen. Because the traveling from New Zealand to Australia, some fans might not be able to get over here. But I think the Dolphins deserve to miss Magic Round because they're new. And why should they come in and take someone else's spot? But anyway, You guys can let me know if you like my Magic Round fixture. Let me know in the comment section below or in the live chat. I'm reading the comments now, and some of you agree, some of you don't agree. But overall, I think it's a good Magic Round fixture. I think it works out well for next year. Got a couple of blockbuster games there with the Roosters versus the Sharks, Storm and the Cowboys, South Sydney versus Parramatta, Brisbane versus Penrith. So you've got a couple of really good games there. And then you've got a couple of decent games that could be entertaining, like Manly and the Dogs, Dragons and the Raiders. So, yeah, look, Knights and Warriors and Tigers Titans are probably the snooze fest games, but not many people are going to be there for the first game anyway. Not many people are going to hang around for the last game anyway. So you put the worst game on early and you put the other shit game on last. That's usually how you're meant to do it. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I haven't really got much more to say. That's my Magic Round fixture. But anyway, have a good night, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for another stream of some sort. Haven't thought of it yet. Maybe a rankings video that I'm due to do. Maybe ranking some NRL locks or whatever from this year. But we'll see how we go. But anyway, guys, have a great night. Like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next one.